Welcome back to soggy Baltimore, everybody, where this rain is supposed to continue for the duration of our game. I'm Jen Hale. Today is also the return of former Raven fan favorite Ryan Jensen. First time back in Baltimore since Tampa made him the NFL's highest paid center this offseason. Yes, he has a fiery personality, but he's also now the heart and soul of this Tampa offensive line. Jameis Winston tells me that heated sideline exchange between the two last week, that's ancient history. He respects Jensen for everything he's juggled, from learning a new system to fielding calls from himself and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now Jensen and Jameis have had some time to work together. Jensen is facing a defense that he practiced against for 5 years here in Baltimore. So Dick, you can expect to see some of Jensen's best football today and likely some fireworks too.
I guess so, Jen, and that's part of the story here, the backstory. Meanwhile, the Ravens in a 4-team tie, but they right now have the 6th position with the 4 teams at 7-6, but only a half a game behind the Steelers, who have a tough game against the New England Patriots. So it's conceivable that the Ravens could end up in first place and maybe win the AFC North. And Bobo Wilson returns the opening kickoff for the Buccaneers, and a good return indeed for Wilson. The Ravens won the toss and deferred, and so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get the ball first, and Jameis Winston making his 7th start, including the past 3, and has career highs in both completions and yards per attempt, and he has been much better since he has come back after Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback.
He has been better decisions, more decisive in his reads, also scrambling, making first downs with his feet.
After the 32-yard kickoff return, decent field position for Peyton Barber, who gets a first down and drives himself close to midfield on the first play from scrimmage. So Barber picking up 15.
Yeah, he's going to come around here and just right to the left-hand side on a little counter action. Look how skinny he gets through the hole. This is going to be pivotal for Tampa to be able to run the ball, to take away some of the pressure that the Baltimore Ravens consistently give you with looks and also blitz schemes.
From midfield, first pass of the game, and dropping it is Chris Godwin. And we may see a lot of that today, considering the rain. We've had over 3 inches of rain in the last day and a half.
Well, this is one of those balls you have to catch. Jameis Winston puts it right on the hands of Godwin. He had a tough day last weekend playing against New Orleans. 10 targets, only 1 catch. Man, that's the way you can come out and put yourself right on track. Chris Godwin has got to catch that football.
Starting his 3rd game in a row for Deshaun Jackson, who's out with the thumb injury. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and Winston has a lot of time and completes the pass, and this time to Adam Humphries for 7. The Tampa Bay offense, and they have the best passing offense in the NFL, 2nd right now, and a good offense indeed, but they have turned the ball over a lot. They have the most turnovers in the league coming in.
They certainly do, and one guy they want to get involved early, Mike Evans. Even when he's covered and double covered, he's open so big, so fast, really a difficult guy to cover one-on-one.
And he has the size to get the ball over smaller defenders. 3rd down and 3 in Raven territory, and Winston's not going to get anything. Couldn't find a receiver, and C.J. Mosley, the middle linebacker, finally brings him down, bringing up 4th down. And a punting situation as Brian Anger checks in.
And one of the things you have to do right here as a running back, you've got to step up there, understand the blitz. You never know where they're coming from, but you've got to, you see the trip up. Jaquiz Rogers, 32 right there, gets tripped, but you've got to go attack the line of scrimmage and go get after the blitzers at that point.
Loss of 1. There's Cyrus Jones, very dangerous, and John Harbaugh told us that he thinks he can break one in this game. He had a big one last week and will let this bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And the Ravens running game will be coming up, but there is a penalty marker down. The Ravens running game will be coming up in just a moment. Referee is Ron Torbert.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 82. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. This is Tampa Bay's ball. First down.
And we're seeing that on almost every punt these days. A holding or illegal use of the hands. In any event, Lamar Jackson will be coming on. We're back here in Baltimore. Ron Torbert, the official, changed the call that the penalty was against the kicking team, so the Ravens get a bonus out of it and will start from the 30-yard line. Anthony Auclair was the guilty party for Tampa Bay, was holding, and so first play from scrimmage coming up for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. And a handoff to Gus Edwards for about 1.5 yards. Lamar Jackson, who guided 3 victories before a near miss against Kansas City last week. And Lamar Jackson, first 4 starts. And how about that? 332 rushing yards, and he is the team's leading rusher. And of course, Joe Flacco, for the first time in his career, Super Bowl MVP at one time, is the backup for this game. Robert Griffin III is inactive. On 2nd down and 9, it's Edwards again. And he's been the chief ball carrier lately, but Vita Vea, the #1 draft pick from Washington, stops him. Another 1-yard gain. 3rd down coming up.
Marty Mornhinweg, the offensive coordinator, went from one of the best passing teams in football to flat out the best running team overnight. What work they've done as a coaching staff establishing this unique kind of option, like he said, 72 kind of SEC football offense.
Kenneth Dixon comes in for the first time of the game, and here comes the pass rush, and the play is blown dead. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And let's see if there's a delay of the game call.
I think it was offside.
Yeah.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So it's a false start penalty. Tampa Bay Buccaneer defensive unit, and their pass rush has been much better lately, and they have a great front 4 here.
They certainly do, and Jason Pierre-Paul's just an amazing football player. Not only a great pass rusher with 11.5 sacks, plays with leverage, plays with bend in his knees, and really is an exceptional run defender as well.
11.5 sacks leading the team. Javorius Allen comes in the game on 3rd and 13, and the pass is going to be caught by one of the 4 tight ends who are active, Hayden Hurst, who has not been targeted in the previous 2 games. Well short of the first down, and a punting situation coming up. The gain was 8.
Well, the nice thing about that, now they're not a throwing offense, the Baltimore Ravens, but to get your young quarterback in a rhythm, because you know you're going to have to convert some 3rd downs, throwing the football. Nice rhythm there for Jackson.
Sam Cook kicking, and Adam Humphries will watch this ball sail out of bounds. So penalty flag is down back at the near the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 57. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. Tampa Bay's ball, 1st down. Timeout.
Penalty was on Noah Spence, so coming out for the 2nd time is Jameis Winston. No score, still early in the 1st. Head coach Dirk Cutter of the Bucs, who told us last night, we are fighting for our lives. And indeed they are, to echo my partner's comments at the top of the game. It'll be a 1st down on the 26. And we're going to run it again with Peyton Barber. Carried the first time. Mosley again with the tackle and a 5-yard gain. So I guess as far as passing is concerned, we're looking at strength against strength here.
Yeah, there's no question they can throw it, but in this kind of weather, you know, one thing is everybody say, well, you can't throw it, it's a little bit windy, it's really wet. Listen, receivers have the advantage. They know where they're going. Defensive backs have to react. So this actually is a good situation to throw the ball in.
2nd down and 5. And again, they go to Barber. And Barber will be stopped shy of the 1st down by 1 yard or so. You saw John Harbaugh, who likes where his team is at this stage. And the Baltimore Ravens defense, that's the hallmark of this football team without question.
They are, I mean, they are so tough. They give you so many different looks, so aggressive.
Third down and 1, trying to stop the Bucs, and I don't know if they did. It doesn't look like they did, and Tampa Bay may have the first down on the quarterback sneak by Winston. And it is a first down for Tampa Bay. Let's take a look at the Baltimore Ravens defense, and #1 scoring defense, giving up less than 19 a game. And Eric Weddle,
yes,
key man, right?
Eric Weddle is the guy that calls this defense. He's got the signals in his headphones, and he's the guy that keeps them on track.
And going deep for Evans. And you wonder if he had a shot to catch the ball. There were 2 defenders around him, and the ball just landed on the turf. Eric Weddle being one of them.
And this does not happen very often, but watch Eric Weddle down at the bottom of your screen. He's like an outfielder. He reads this ball, he sees it, he thinks he's going to get a pick, and he just mistimes it. He doesn't get enough depth there, and I believe his body presence affected Evans, who had a chance to catch that ball and just couldn't do it, watching Weddle react to it.
2nd and 10. Looked like both teams had a chance at the ball. And now going look to throw, nothing doing, and on the run the ball is off the hands of Mike Evans, so that'll be the 2nd drop by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers early in this game, and it will take us to 3rd down and 10.
Well, you look at Mike Evans here, and they went out this week, Tampa did. Dirk Cutter made him go out and practice in the rain, but you could tell just the way he's running with his hands clenched. Did you see his hands clenched when he's running? Like, his fingers are cold. Look, he's got his hands in his warmer there.
They practiced in the rain, but they didn't practice in the chill, and a timeout called by the Ravens because now it's 43 degrees as the game started, but the temperature is expected to drop, and we have rain, as you can see. And we will be right back after this message from Bose. It'll be 3rd down and 10, and the rain dripping off the peak of the hat of John Harbaugh. Pressure put on Winston, and this one is going to be caught by Adam Humphries, but well short of the first down by 5 yards. And it was Tony Jefferson who has been inactive in the last 2 games, and they're pleased to get their strong safety back in this game, and once again the Bucs will have to kick.
Well, there's a theme right now going on for the Baltimore Ravens, and we are going to bring pressure. We are not afraid. We're going to challenge you and make sure that you can handle the pressure, and that's a constant for this Ravens football team.
Anger, Cyrus Jones, and the fair catch at about the 20-yard line. Well, who'll be the king of the North this season? Good question. The AFC North is up for grabs. 3 weeks left. The Steelers have lost 3 in a row. Still control their own destiny at 7-5-1. The Ravens, meanwhile, winners of 3 of their last 4. Just 1 game back in the loss column behind Pittsburgh. And don't look now, but the Browns have an outside chance of winning the division. Beating Denver last night. They need just 2 more wins and some help. Steelers and Ravens both have tough road games next week at the Saints and the Chargers, respectively, in the tough game next week. But John Harbaugh knows he can't look beyond today.
No, he can't. His football team is built for this. Rain, nasty, muddy. Oh, yeah, bring it on. This is what we are.
Throwing on first down, and a wobbler. Incomplete. Flag goes down. John Brown was the target, but a penalty flag is down. Brent Grimes, the 35-year-old veteran, defending.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
So the pass wobbled, but Grimes interfered, and it'll be a first down for the Ravens. Time now for a game break. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. Cowboys, Colts, the 7th seed in the AFC. Andrew Luck hands it off to Marlon Mack, who takes it in from the 1-yard line. Colts up 7-0. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
All right, thank you, Carissa. So the Colts, along with the Titans and the Dolphins and the Ravens, all 7-6. First down. They fake the handoff, and Jackson gets it to Max Williams, and the tight end is tackled at the 40-yard line after a 6-yard pickup.
Well, the Ravens coming out breaking some tendencies here. This is a football team. Don't joke or don't kid yourself. They want to run it. They're trying to loosen things up. They know Tampa's going to stack the box with 8-man fronts, loosen them up a little bit. This is a team that at their core, they feel like they can run it for 5-6 yards a carry, and that's what they want to do.
And on the flip, they go to Willie Snead, the wide receiver, and he gets tackled quickly by Andrew Adams and company, so the Buccaneers were able to sift through that play. And it'll be third down coming up, 3rd and long for the Ravens. And you're right, sometimes you have to run to set up the pass and pass to set up the run, and that's been a factor in the NFL for years.
It certainly has, and here's another passing situation with Lamar Jackson back in an empty set.
Kenneth Dixon goes out as a receiver, and the pass is going to be almost intercepted and right in the hands of Levante David, and Riley Buller right there as well. And you won't get a better opportunity than David, who's one of the best in the league at linebacker, than he had there.
Yeah, he's right here in the middle. He's going to drop out here into the middle of the football field, the underneath coverage, and he's just keying the quarterback's eyes and has one right in the breadbasket. He drops it here in the rain.
And Cook's ball is going to go out of bounds, so he gets it inside the 15-yard line. So not much offense shown in this game on a nasty day here in Baltimore. Rainy and chilly and getting colder as we move on. Jackson and the Ravens started the game with 2 running plays and have thrown 4 passes since. So Jackson 3 of 4 for 11 yards, but now Jameis Winston starts from the 13. And Peyton Barber is knocked back. His 4th carry of the game for Barber already. Tony Jefferson came up from the secondary, pickup of 1. Barber has gained 25 yards so far, averaging over 6 yards per carry. And he's having his best season of his 3-year career. 2nd down and 9. Again to Barber, and Barber will break it and get a 1st down as he gets past the 25-yard line, where Matthew Judon makes the stack, and an 11-yard gain for Barber, off to a hot start.
Barber does a really nice job of setting this here and then bouncing to the outside, and that's what holds this Ravens defense in. You see the stutter step, then bounce to the outside, then get to the edge, and when he carries it for 15+ times a game, as we saw on the graphic, 4 and 2. When he doesn't get more than 15 carries, 1 and 6. They've got to focus on Barber, getting him some carries, getting him some opportunity and attempts.
Bucs coming in marked 27th in the league in rushing. They have a 1st down from the 25, and they swing it out to the rookie Ronald Jones, but Marlon Humphrey is right there. In and out of the lineup has been Humphrey, the #1 draft pick last year for the Ravens. Game break time. Here is Carissa Thompson.
Big stick, Packers, Bears. Bears clinch the NFC North with a win. Mitchell Trubisky hands it off to Jordan Howard, who scores from 9 yards out. Bears up early, 7-0. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
All right, Carissa. Meanwhile, Barber back in the lineup for Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 11. Rain has picked up somewhat. It has been raining the last day and a half. And the flip outside to Adam Humphries, but the Ravens are there. Good pursuit by Eric Weddle. Boy, the secondary playing outstanding football here in this 1st quarter.
Well, the Ravens are so tough. You know, when you're an offense, you want to be able to designate what they're in. Who do I pick up? What coverage are they in? What tells can I get? I think that this team is like, they're like an amoeba. They're just all over the place, and there's no clear-cut designation. Makes it so tough on offense to decide who we're going to block and how we're going to get to those guys.
Jacquizz Rodgers now comes in, the 3rd running back, and it's a throwing situation, and the pass is knocked away, broken up, intended for the tight end Cameron Brake by Humphrey again. Back-to-back solid plays by Marlon Humphrey, the cornerback, and you might say this was a drop, and Brate had a chance to grab this one.
Watch him come off his coverage right here. He reads that #2 guy in right there. Brate 29, Marlon Humphrey breaks on it. He's reading the quarterback. He's reading through the number 2 receiver, breaks on it, and breaks up that pass.
So Brian Anger again kicking from inside the 20-yard line. Jones will let it drop. It takes a Tampa Bay roll to the 25. So there is the big hit on Brate, who could not hold on to the ball. It's been tough for the Bucs to do that so far in a scoreless game. Mark, what a dramatic change the Ravens have undergone.
Yeah, and you know what? They need to get back to what they've been doing the last 4 games. Run the football, right? They started off with 2 straight runs, and then they've thrown it 4 straight times. They've got to get back to what their identity is after the midseason change. That snot-nosed, just grinded out football on the offensive side.
I like the way you put it. They fake an end around and the pass to Kenneth Dixon, the running back. And it was Maravilla, who is all over the place right away. Babb, the rookie from Washington.
Yeah. There's Marty Morningwig. He's the offensive coordinator. What a phenomenal job he has done. Now, they've had packages that they started putting in as soon as they drafted Lamar Jackson, but they put this whole offense together just almost overnight. And now it's time for Marty to get back to what this offense is. Run the football.
Yeah, you got to wonder what the Ravens have in mind here. And this is what they do. And here's Jackson on the carry. And Jackson with his first carry of the game. He led in rushing with 71 yards against Kansas City, the leading rusher on the team. Penalty flag down.
I think it's going to be a block in the back. Out on the edge. Tight end. Nick Boyle, I think, blocked the defender in the back. Whitehead.
There is no foul for an illegal block in the back. The block in question was legal. It's 3rd down.
Okay, because it happened at the line of scrimmage. So if you hit him at the line of scrimmage, you can actually block people in the back. I love that rule, right? As long as you're at the line of scrimmage, go ahead and block people in the back. That's okay. You know, that's what I love about football, right? There's rules.
Consistency.
Right, there's rules, but there's not any real rules, right? Like they just kind of, you know what, this is okay here, but it's not okay here.
You mean there's a comma?
Yeah,
except 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
3rd down and 3. 4th in the league. The Ravens very good on 3rd down conversions, and it's a pass and wide open. And the first down past the 45 to Willie Snead, coming in as the leading receiver. 14-yard gain. And the Ravens with a first down near midfield.
That's just the inside slant right here, and this is the RPO game. Hand to the back. Check out what they're doing here. Zone coverage. Snead takes the slant route, and that's a beautiful ball. This is one ball that Lamar Jackson actually throws with some accuracy. The underneath slant routes is something that he's done very well.
And here is Gus Edwards, who's making his 4th consecutive start. They're using Edwards and Dixon. Gerald McCoy gets involved for the first time in the game. 2-yard gain on first down.
This defense is actually really doing for Tampa Bay a great job. Mark Duffner, the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, talked about how much work they put in this week trying to create this kind of collegiate offense and defense to essentially stop this running game.
And on 2nd down and 8, Jackson's going to take off again, and there's going to be a race for the sticks, and he's going to make it a first down, chased by Jordan Whitehead out of bounds, but the Ravens get another first down. And you mentioned Mark Duffner, who's former University of Maryland head coach.
Gets the fake, doesn't like what he sees, moves up in the pocket. Now watch him switch hands right here. He's going to switch hands, switch the ball, get it to the defensive sideline, or the sideline right there to help make sure you secure the ball, use the stiff arm. Really nice work by the rookie quarterback.
And a 9-yard gain, and Duffner told us last night, very difficult game to prepare for with the new Ravens offense. And a loose ball, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Levante David falling on the ball, gets the ball back. And on the turnover, fumble, the Bucs have it near midfield.
Well, the snap here, and they're just going to run a little. They're just going to run a little kind of a zone read play here again, and you see fullback running back Edwards getting up in the pocket right here, goes right through Jackson's hand. And that's what happens when the ball's wet. You're in shotgun. You're getting away from what you normally do. Now Tampa Bay has got an opportunity here just about across. And a lot of times, you know, coaches right here, they want to take that deep shot. They want to go for it all. They want to go straight touchdown. And I don't know in this weather, with the way they have no offensive rhythm right now, I think you just establish the run and you grind it out here.
They're going to go play action on first down, and the pass is going to be to Peyton Barber. And it's caught for a 1-yard gain. Matthew Judon right there. The Buccaneers had a lot of turnover problems earlier in the year, but they've steadied the ship in that department. First 10 games last with a -23, but second with a +6 in the last 3 games. And you can see, we've already seen with drop passes and the way that fumble went, what the rain and the chill has done to the players on the field. The conditions not ideal, to say the least. And Peyton Barber gets to the 46 of the Ravens. They'll be 5 yards shy of the first down. Michael Pierce comes in to make the play.
Puts you in a manageable situation, 3rd down and 5, where now the Ravens are this blitz happy, show you a bunch of different looks, never show you what they're actually going to end up in. And that's what makes them so difficult to play against as an offense. You just don't know where they're going to be. Look at all these guys, everybody around the line of scrimmage, right down here, and that's the big issue.
Ronald Jones, the rookie running back, comes in as a receiver, and the pass to Evans. He's got it and going out of bounds. A perfect throw to Evans, who used his size to screen off the defenders. And that will end the first quarter, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to capitalize on a turnover will have a first down inside the 25 when we come back. No score after 1 here in Baltimore. And welcome back to M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore. Start of the second quarter. No score. The Ravens and the Buccaneers both letting one get away last week. Ravens had a lead late in the game at Kansas City. The Buccaneers led at halftime against New Orleans. Both couldn't hold on. 1st and 10 on the 23, and Peyton Barber. The Buccaneers are running a lot. We know the Ravens are running more than they have, but so is Tampa Bay. And after the 3-yard gain, the Ravens, now this is rare for them, 26 yards passing and 19 rushing.
When was the last time the Ravens in the last 4 weeks ever had more passing yards than rushing yards at any point in the game?
Did not.
And when have they been outrushed by their opponent in any game?
2nd down and 7. And Barber finds an opening. Nifty move by Peyton Barber, and he'll get a first down to the 10-yard line. Picking up 10 yards, off to a great start.
He's really done a good job of really pressing this and holding it and then getting himself out. Really, those quick moves, but holding it at the point of attack and then getting back to the backside, making sure the defense loses him a little bit behind all those big bodies, all those defenders, and all those big uglies up front with the offensive line. Really nice job.
Yeah, really 53 yards for him, averaging 6.6 and looking for more, but that's not going to happen here. And Mosley stops him for no gain on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down and goal for the Buccaneers trying to take the lead here.
C.J. Mosley, a bit old school, a bit new school, does a great job. He reads the double team block right here, slides to the side underneath the tight end block who's coming across the formation and loads it up right at the line of scrimmage. He's just one of those guys that's super smart, can diagnose, and then has the speed and athleticism to get to the point of attack before you even break the line of scrimmage. C.J. Mosley, a phenomenal player.
2nd down and goal, and they're going to go again to Barber, and Barber will get to the 6-yard line. So they continue to pound the middle, and they've had some success there. And Barber off to a great start. Already has carried 10 times in the game. Picks up 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and goal.
Well, how about this? You want to talk about bizarro world. I mean, you're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who live in the South come up to the cold, and they're out Baltimoring Baltimore. I mean, they're playing Baltimore's game. We flipped the script, Dick.
You never know when teams get ready to play other teams. Jacquizz Rodgers now comes into the game at running back. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Jameis Winston on the run, looking, firing, incomplete, and a flag goes down. Adam Humphries was his target at the back of the end zone, but a penalty marker thrown in the end zone.
That's going to be against Marlon Humphrey.
Yes, Ravens. And you can see the shaking of the head for John Harbaugh. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Buccaneers.
Here he is down here, one-on-one out here, and as Jameis Winston starts to break contain, you see great coverage right here now as he break contain and go back the other way. Grabs on to Godwin as he comes back, trying to adjust his route and mirror the footwork and the escape of his quarterback.
1st and goal at the 3. Barber checks back in. And they go to Peyton Barber, and Barber fighting his way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So the Buccaneers coming in at 5-8, trying to be the spoilers for the Ravens here. And Peyton Barber leading the way, and Lamar Jackson waiting for his turn, but will come out with his team trailing.
Well, they're going to run counter right here, so they're just going to come down. Now watch tight end Claire right there come inside out and does a good job of just picking up C.J. Mosley, who's grabbing his shoulder. But Peyton Barber just getting downhill, understanding the quickest way to get to that end zone is a straight line, not side to side, but right downhill.
They're checking out, as they always do, scoring plays, but there he is. Does his knee
that
hit
ball
first?
That ball is over the end line.
It's a touchdown.
While his body is still in the air. In the air right there, that ball is over before the knee touches down. That's a touchdown.
And it is a touchdown. It's been confirmed. So Peyton Barber with his 5th touchdown rushing of the season. And now Cairo Santos for the extra point. Had kicked earlier in the year for the Rams. This is his 5th game with Tampa Bay. And the ball bounces off the holder, Brian Anger. And the ball is loose and picking it up. And the ball fumbled again. Cyrus Jones had it. And it will be a failed conversion by Santos. And it wasn't his fault. The snap off the hands of Brian Anger. There is no question that the wet conditions are affecting everyone in this game. 6-0, the Bucs lead though. Tampa Bay capitalizing on the fumble recovery by Levante David, and Barber the key man on the drive there. The extra point was missed because of the bobble by Anger on the snap. Chris Moore back to return for the Ravens, and he muffs the kick. Recovers though and gets upended as he passes the 25. Well, consider the league's most prestigious honor. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award recognizes NFL players who have not only exhibited excellence on the field, but whose passion to impact lives extends beyond the game and has led them to leave a positive legacy in their communities. This year's nominee for the Buccaneers is Gerald McCoy, and for the Ravens, it's Brandon Carr. This year's winner will be announced at NFL Honors the night before Super Bowl 53. And to learn about all of this year's nominees, visit NFL.com/Man of the Year. It's a great honor to have, or even to be nominated for. Ravens starting from the 27-yard line. And here is Kenneth Dixon. And Dixon breaks a couple of tackles, gets outside, and a 1st down. And a good run by Kenneth Dixon, activated from IR 2 weeks ago, and had a touchdown last week against Kansas City, gets 16.
And that's exactly what they need to do. They run a little counter play here. You see the edge blocked up by the tight end, Boyle, and just nice running using that stiff arm, keeping his feet, picking him up around the defenders. Really nice, excellent work by him.
And they go again to Dixon. And this is what you were talking about when you talked about the Ravens and their ability to run. He gets 3 yards. Kurt Menefee has a game break for us. Kurt, what do you have?
Well, Tennessee, one of the teams chasing Baltimore for that last wild card spot. Derrick Henry helping them out. A little 1-yard touchdown run against the Giants, and they lead it 7-0 in the second quarter. A little skip to Malou. Dick, Mark, Jen?
And a good job by you last night doing play-by-play on the Jets-Houston game.
Right, speaking of skip to Malou, from New York to L.A. overnight.
2nd down and 8, and Gus Edwards into the game. And now, for the first time, we are seeing the Ravens in rhythm as they get into Buccaneer territory, getting 7 yards, shy of the first down by about 1 yard. They had 2 3-and-outs and a fumble, and John Harbaugh says, let's go back to what we do best.
They certainly did, and look at this play selection right here. Tampa Bay, 12 rushes, 61 yards, only 9 for 45 for Baltimore. But like you said, they're getting back to it.
3rd down and 1, and here is Edwards again, and another first down. Gus Edwards moves the chains. So enough of this pass early stuff. Let's go back to what's gotten the Ravens winning 3 of their last 4.
Right, this is who we are. We know what we are. We were trying to get a passing game established, and Marty Morningwig, the offensive coordinator, told us, I'd love to hit one deep one post, something of that nature to get us going, but he's saying to himself, you know what, let me get back to what we do here, and that's running the ball.
Almost alternating Edwards and Dixon. Dixon in the game now. Good play action, plenty of time, and the pass falling down was Mark Andrews, the tight end, and he may have had a shot at getting the ball. Andrew Adams defending on the play, ball thrown behind.
Yeah, and this is just one of those balls. This is the outside the numbers. He's rolling to his right. He's got to throw back across his body. You see it come out kind of funny. It's just going to be underthrown, and Andrews trying to slow down to try to make a play on the ball, falls down, but it's just a poorly thrown ball by Lamar Jackson, and that's one of the reasons they need to focus on running this football.
Hit Adams in the back, and here's Jackson on the run, and Jackson with a nifty run to the outside, great speed, comes within 2 yards of another Raven first down before Adams makes the play again.
Yeah, look at all these guys, 2 tight ends in the backfield, like 4 guys all just clumped right here. You can see it, and here goes Jackson, reads the defensive end. As the defensive end crashes, that's his signal. Keep the ball, get to the edge, use my athleticism to gain yardage. And here we have another 3rd down and short, where they are more likely than not to run the ball to try to convert.
Jackson already has 23 yards rushing, leading the team, and they're going to go to Edwards, who bursts through and gets another first down. And this is a team that is really alive. The Ravens offense finally getting it done to the 36-yard pickup here.
Yeah, they are they're a downhill team. Look at tight ends, both of them taking care of the edge of the line of scrimmage. And, you know, anytime you have Lamar Jackson running the football, those secondary people, those edge people have to be concerned about him keeping it, getting to the edge, getting to the outside. It makes it very difficult to defend.
Javarius Allen comes in the game, and they're going to give it to the wide receiver, Chris Moore, and Moore gets trapped behind way back almost to the 35-yard line, and Riley Bullock was there to make the play, and a loss of 5 yards. They got too deep in the backfield.
Right. Think about this now from a running game perspective. And usually when you get it, here you see the reverse to Moore right here off of that. You know, like you said, deep in the backfield, just didn't work out. But this is a football team that is so difficult to defend because of the way they run the ball and the numbers they get.
2nd and 15, and Jackson will throw it, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver was John Brown, but it wasn't that close. So the errant throwing by Lamar Jackson, and it'll be 3rd down and 15. Back at the 35-yard line. 6-0 Buccaneers lead halfway through the second quarter.
Give Lamar Jackson an opportunity to get to the edge with a run-pass option. That's what the Baltimore Ravens and Marty Morningwig need to do.
Flag down in the defensive backfield area.
12 players on the defense with the snap penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Well, it's going to make a difference now. You're down to 3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10. I still think when you talk about this passing game, it's the RPO aspect of it, the run pass option. Flag that in there, get that not only that secondary, but get that underneath coverage to come up, have to defend the run, use Lamar Jackson on the outside, give him a run pass option on the outside.
Jackson. Pass is caught. And a 1st down for the Ravens. Willie Snead open. And a 14-yard gain. 1st down at the 16 of the Buccaneers.
And just absolutely wide open from a coverage standpoint. They don't get into that gap on the slant, which is just inexcusable. And you see Willie Snead right there. But those are the throws he can make. Those slant throws he has been accurate on. It's the stuff outside the numbers and deep down the field that he struggled with.
3rd catch of the game for Snead. Now Jackson on the run. He's going to run it. And will go out of bounds close to the 10-yard line. And it was Carlton Davis who returns to the lineup after being out the last 2 games for the Buccaneers, pushing him out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 4 after the run of 6.
When you think about this running game, Dick, you know, the traditional running game, you take your quarterback out of it. So it was 10 on 11. 11 defenders, your quarterback's out of it, so it's 10, right? Now the Wildcat in the read zone makes it 11 on 11. But the way they run their offense, oftentimes it looks like 12, 13 on 11. It is just so hard to contend with all these different bodies coming at you.
How do you contend with all of them? And they give it up the middle to Edwards, and McCoy will be right there. And so 3rd down and short ensuing for the Baltimore Ravens, who are looking to get a touchdown, tie the game, and maybe take the lead with a conversion. 3rd down and 1 on the 7 of the Bucs. Edwards and Dixon both doing damage. Edwards has gained 23 yards, Dixon 19, but Jackson leads the parade with 29 yards rushing thus far. Dixon in there now. And Jackson looking into the end zone, will try to dive for the 1st down, and it's close. David trying to prevent him from getting the 1st down. And it looks like they'll be short. 4th down coming up. And the Ravens will go for it on 4th down. And about a yard. Javorius Allen, good receiver, out of the backfield, checks in. So here it is, 4th down and 1 on the 7th. And now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to talk things over. Their defense, they call a timeout, and they're first of the game. Well, twin brothers defend their titles in a huge night of championship fights on Fox. Jamal Charlo takes on Willie Monroe Jr., while Jermell Charlo defends his belt against Tony Harrison. PBC Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Our NFL on Fox colleague Kenny Albert will be on the call next week in Brooklyn. He is terrific at that sport, and if he gets their first names correct, then he's got half the battle won. Speaking of the famous brothers, is John, and we saw Jack, the father of both John and Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, at practice on Friday. 4th and 1 after the timeout by Tampa Bay. Allen split wide to the right. Now coming in motion, and it's Jackson. Jackson 1st down and goal. Not yet did they bring him down till he gets to the 2. 14th play that was for the Ravens, and they'll have a 1st and goal coming up.
And this is just everybody here along this line of scrimmage getting great pressure. The fake on the little jet sweep by the running back, and that's Lamar Jackson just Look at how he subtly just waited, let that thing develop, and then stuck his nose in there. There is no fear for Lamar Jackson.
Got 5 yards there. So first and goal at the 2, and rolling out, faking the throw, nowhere to go, and just gets down at the 5. Lavonte David, who's been a big thorn in the Ravens' offensive side with his defensive play in this first half.
Really impressed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As much as you run the ball, you've got Bond out there one-on-one, Bull up there one-on-one with the tight ends. They had those guys locked down and covered, and then once Lamar decided I'm going to take off because nobody's open, you know, the ability to be athletic enough to squeeze down and make that tackle. Really nice defense.
That was the first full sack of the year, believe it or not, for David. Loss of 3. And here goes the flip, and it's going to go to Moore. Moore trying to get in the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Ravens. Chris Moore.
Well, the thing about this is anytime you get Lamar Jackson coming this way, watch how it affects the defense, and then you just flip it over to Moore. All the defense is pulling towards the Lamar Jackson, and that hesitation right there, the little hesitation Lavonte David can't get to Moore as he comes across the formation. Really nice design by Marty Morningwig, the offensive coordinator of the Ravens.
And it's a 5-yard touchdown pass officially. Jackson to Moore. Willie Snead with a good block. Good when you have wide receivers blocking. And the first touchdown of the season for Chris Moore. Justin Tucker can give the Ravens the lead here after the Bucs failed to convert the point after when they scored. And the kick is good. And Baltimore leads Tampa Bay 7-6, capping a very impressive 16-play, 73-yard drive with a touchdown to Moore after the Ravens struggled the first 3 times they possessed the ball. Ravens lead the Bucs 7-6, and aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm.
And here's you're gonna, I mean, the little flip pass right there, and it's Lavonte David to me. Stopped his feet for a second, and that was all they needed to get it in the end zone of the corner. Nice block out there as well by Snead.
And this can be returned by Bobo Wilson. Had a good return to start the game, and this time gets it out close to the 25. The first 3 Ravens drives consumed 11 plays. In this last drive was 16 plays, 1 short of their season's high of 17 play. An impressive drive. And they went back to the run, as you can see, which has been their trademark the last 4 weeks.
They had also, though, one pivotal 3rd down conversion on the pass to Snead on the slant. That was over a 10-yard gain. So that was a huge play in that drive down toward the red zone.
Number 25. Play fake, knocked away, intended for Evans. Evans looking for a flag, but Brandon Carr was right there to break it up.
Yeah, Brandon Carr there early, and Evans is right. That should have been a flag. Brandon Carr went right over the back of Evans to get to that. And you'll see Evans comes out here. He's just running a curl route, an underneath route. Now drive back to the ball, but there's Brandon Carr going over the top of his shoulder through the receiver, and they just missed one. I guess if you're a Walter Payton Man of the Year, you can get away with a little bit of extracurricular because you're doing so many great things in the community.
Well, he's one of the many candidates, 32 of them all. 2nd down and 10, and the pass is going to be caught by Chris Godwin. And Godwin will have a first down, flag down as well. Godwin's reception out to the 41, 16 yards. We'll see what the call is.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. We play 2nd down.
And it's on the center, Ryan Jensen, who Jen Hale was talking about, former Raven.
Ryan Jensen, now, he's a little bit nasty right here. Now, he's one of those guys, he'll get yourself He'll get you in there, but you'll see the hand on the inside essentially taking the defender down to the ground. Jensen's one of those guys, he'll play with an attitude, he'll play beyond the whistle, but when you get him going side to side, the Ravens know he has a few issues with that.
At 25 yards and penalties in one series last week. And pressure on Winston for the first time. The Ravens getting to Winston. And it was Zadarius Smith who put the pressure on. And that, on the incompletion, brings up 3rd down and 20, which plays into the Ravens' hands big time.
Yeah, this is what the Ravens do. They walk up, they bring pressure. Look at the walk up right here, and it allows Smith to get to the edge and get to Jameis Winston and create an errant throw because of that pressure. They'll walk up, they'll bring guys from any place on the football field. That's what Wink Martindale, their defense coordinator, loves to do. I'm telling you what, trying to figure out who you're supposed to block, it's like an episode of Where's Waldo, that childhood book.
Yeah, I read it.
It's hard to find those guys.
Hard to find Winston on this play as he lets go downfield to Evans. Evans makes the catch, and Evans still on his feet. And a face mask call coming up as well on Jimmy Smith. Where's Waldo? Where is Jameis? Jameis got away, escaped the pass rush, and a 64-yard play getting away from Terrell Suggs' pressure. And a big play, and the flag will add more yards on to Tampa Bay.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 22. The penalty is half the distance from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
They let him get away, and they got a big one to Evans.
Well, here he is on the outside, and he's just running an in-cutting route right here. Safety jumps him, and then all of a sudden he sees Jameis in trouble, and he sticks his hand up in the air and says, man, I'm going deep. Get it to me. Jameis Winston, a wonderful throw on the run, and that's one thing Jameis has done a great job of here. As you see the face mask, he's done a phenomenal job of extending plays and finding his receivers down the field, making those big-time throws.
And a first down on the 11-yard line. And here is Peyton Barber, who scored the touchdown for Tampa Bay, gets inside the 5 on first down.
Yeah, and there he is. Look at that footwork inside the pocket. I mean, he's a lot more nifty than people think, and then he just unloads it, and you can't throw a better ball off balance than what Jameis just did. But the inside footwork, sliding to his right, then sliding back to his left, and then gathering himself, basically turning his body the opposite way so he can create some rotational force to get that ball down the football field. Wonderful job by Jameis.
Been a great combination for the Buccaneers after the 7-yard run by Peyton Barber. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Again to Barber, and Barber gets jammed. They end up with a yard or so with the extra effort, but it'll be 3rd down coming up. And first we'll have our 2-minute warning. So Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay offense trying to regain the lead in a 7-6 battle. 2-minute warning. And yes, holding on to the ball has been a factor. Not for Mr. Moore, however. Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, he's calling the plays, not Dirk Cutter. They made that change also during the season, and here's the play selection. Can't ask for any more balance.
Now balance is great, especially when probably the weak link of this offense have been the offensive tackles for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you want to make sure that you protect them from a pass rushing standpoint.
3rd down and 2. They can get a first down without getting into the end zone. 2-minute warning history. Each team has 2 timeouts left. And here's Winston looking right, looking left. Nowhere to go with it. And it's tipped by a Raven, incomplete. And it was Owasu. Patrick Owasu knocked the ball away. Pressure by Suggs once again, bringing up 4th down. Ravens save a touchdown here.
Yeah, and here's Owasu. I mean, this is one of those situations, if you're Jameis Winston, you just have to throw the ball into the stands. Give a souvenir to one of the fans and move on. You can't make that close a throw because that's one of those situations where all of a sudden you don't come away with points.
Santos is on to try the field goal, so they don't get 6, but they're trying to get 3. Last time, there was a drop extra point snap. Santos with a 21-yard attempt, and this kick is good. And the Buccaneers regain the lead. Dirk Cutter's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, trying to get their 6th win of the year, have taken a 9-7 lead in the waning moments. Buccaneers have managed to score the last 2 times they've had the ball, but they didn't get the touchdown and had to settle for the field goal, so they're leading 9-7 now. Ryan Fitzpatrick in the group with the other quarterbacks. He's not in the stands right now. That's not him. Chris Moore running up, holding on, and Chris Moore is tackled. And right now, let's check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Dolphins and Vikings look to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Titans visit the Giants, and the Bengals host the Raiders. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime. It's not easy to talk and throw, is it?
All right, ball on the 31. So what can we anticipate from the Ravens, who like to run the ball, Mark?
Well, I think the most important thing you can do now, if you're going to throw it, throw the slants, because that's what your quarterback can do. The RPO game, but the most important thing at the end of the day, possess the football until the clock goes to 0.
And he's going to take off with it is Lamar Jackson, and he gets about 6 yards on the play. David was there to put the seal on.
Yeah, this is not a big play offense, and they're in their hurry-up mode, but it's not a big play offense, so you can't let Tampa Bay get the ball back before halftime.
2nd down and 3 officially. Pass is going to be caught. 1st down into Tampa Bay territory by Mark Andrews, rookie from Oklahoma, who leads all rookie tight ends in yardage coming into this game.
And he's just right here in the middle. He's just going to go against the zone. He feels it right there, stays in the seam against the zone defenders, and gives his quarterback a target. Now, obviously, not a great throw right here. He's got to go down to the ground to get it. If you put it on his body, he's got a chance to do something with it afterwards. But nice completion, move the chains, get over the 50-yard line.
Timeout called by the Ravens, leaving them with 1. Right now, they're on the Bucs 48-yard line. There you see what Lamar Jackson has done. 98 yards, total yards. And got the touchdown on the flip to Chris Moore.
26!
Jackson, and a completion. Driving for the 1st down, not quite getting there was John Brown, thanks to Brent Grimes. 9 yards, though, on the play as we wind down to a minute to go in the half.
Lamar's a hard worker. He's a smart kid. You see the double in-cutting routes right there. Just get it to this receiver on the outside.
2nd down and 1, and the pass open to make the catch again is Willie Snead. And the Ravens in big business now. They're outside the 10-yard line. And the clock is running, still have 1 timeout remaining, 28 yards on that play. Ball on the 11. Jackson, and unable to get it to Mark Andrews, stops the clock, brings up 2nd down.
A great throw down the seam to Willie Snead. He's just going to come right down here and watch him hunker down. Watch him settle down when he realizes it's zone. He's going to slow down a little bit, put his hand up there, and Lamar Jackson does a nice job putting it into the middle of the field away, protecting his receiver from the safety, makes him cutting in, and really nice job by Lamar Jackson putting that ball right in the hands of Willie Snead.
4th catch of the game for Snead. 2nd down and 10. Jackson looking to throw, and he gets it over the top to about the 6-yard line to Willie Snead once again. David brings him down after a pickup of 5. And 3rd down coming up. Remember, the Ravens will get the ball to start the 2nd half. So if they can take the lead and get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, they can almost have a 2-for-1 situation in the scoring department. Timeout called by the Ravens, and that's their final timeout.
Yeah, and that's always one of those twofold. You know, you put the ball in a scoring position here like you're in, you get a score, you go into halftime, you get the ball back, and you've got an opportunity once again with your offense to extend that lead if you can get it here with either a touchdown or a field goal.
So Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony will be in our studios for the Visa halftime report coming up shortly. 23 seconds left in the first half. 3rd down and 5. Jackson, and nearly taken down and finally taken down, but threw the ball out of bounds. And it was Levante David who got him and nearly brought him down, but the officials discussing it here.
There was no intentional grounding on the play. The quarterback was outside the pocket, got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down.
So an alert play by Lamar Jackson.
Amazing, too, because he switches hands. Watch him as he scrambles out. He moves up in the pocket. Now watch him switch it to the left hand right here, and then back to the right hand to get it out over the line of scrimmage.
So Justin Tucker will be on to try a 24-yard field goal. And the Ravens looking to take the lead. He has made his last 16 field goals in a row, having his best season. He's been a machine since he's been in the league. And the field goal is perfect, and the Ravens regain the lead. It's been a seesaw game, low scoring here in the first half. Ravens up 10-9 with 9 seconds on the clock. Well, next Sunday, it's a great slate of NFL action highlighted by the Buccaneers facing off against Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys, or Khalil Mack and the Bears taking on the 49ers. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
And that's the perfect way for them to end this half, right? Possess the ball for the last minute, 48 seconds. Drive it down the field using both your quarterback as a runner and a thrower. Makes a nice pass down the seam to Snead. Now you kick the field goal. You leave 9 seconds on the clock. No time for Tampa Bay to really come back and put anything together. So it couldn't end any better than that for Baltimore going into the half.
Yeah, you said it going in before that drive started from the 31. And they got a 63-yard drive, and the 28-yard pass to Snead was the key play in that drive. And they kick it on the ground in the final seconds. And it is picked up by tight end Anthony Auclair, leaving the Bucs with just 6 seconds. But Tampa Bay very much in this game against the Ravens, playing at home, and Tampa Bay coming in with a 1-5 record on the road. Their only victory away from home was the opening game of the season at New Orleans. And Winston will take a knee, and that will be that. And that will be end of the first half. 10-9 the score. Play in the first half is presented by DirecTV. More for your thing. That's our thing. And it's more for the Ravens for the touchdown. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony coming up right after these messages. Ten to 9, the Ravens with the late field goal taking the lead over the Buccaneers. Ravens will get the ball in the second half, but you got to be a little impressed with the way the Buccaneers are hanging in there with the Ravens today.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job of running the football, right, with Barber. They've stayed true to that today, and then they've let Jameis Winston make plays, and he's done a great job of manipulating the pocket, moving around, and pushing the ball down the field to Mike Evans for a couple of big plays. And that's really how they've stayed in this game. But once Baltimore got back to being Baltimore, they messed around early in this game and tried to throw it around the ball yard. But once they got back to being Baltimore, the last two drives, and just being physical, Kenneth David inside, then popping to the outside, Dixon, to the outside, and then right here on the quarterback draw, just nasty, and then more on the outside to the flip for the 5-yard touchdown. And then the last drive, 2-minute drive. Nice toss to Andrews there, and then down the seam to Snead. A beautiful ball thrown to him, and then it ends up being a field goal, and they'll get the ball back here to start the second half.
And the one touchdown by the Buccaneers came after the turnover, taking advantage of that fumble. And now the Ravens, Chris Moore, who scored the touchdown for Baltimore, returning from the goal line. And down he goes. Jen Hale down on the sideline.
Dick, the Bucs very much believe they can win this game, and they think the key is staying true to what they do best, that passing attack. 4 receivers with over 600 yards this season. The key, Dirk Cutter tells me, throw these passes at the body. Makes it easier to catch, especially in these conditions. Meanwhile, John Harbaugh said they will likely be running more this half. If you were curious about all that passing in the first half, he said now that teams have had so much tape to study on Lamar Jackson, he wanted to break out of character and do something to throw this Bucs defense off balance. But as Mark mentioned, they will be getting back to what they do best this half.
They sure have, Jen, and they sure will, I would say right now. First down on the 22-yard line, and here's Kenneth Dixon. Dixon with 19 yards on only 2 carries before this carry. And you're looking at the stats, and you can see the rushing yards compared to the passing yards. So the Ravens still have thrown for more than they've run.
Yeah, they have, and I expect, much like Jen reported, that to change in this second half. And Dixon getting an opportunity here. He's had 8 carries the last 2 games in a row, and he's going to be kind of the lead dog going forward here in this half.
Second down and 7. Jackson tipped, and it was Gerald McCoy who got a paw on that one, bringing up third down and 7. McCoy in his 9th year. He and David, but mostly McCoy.
Well, they're zone dropping, so a defensive lineman is zoning out into coverage, and McCoy's got to get to the edge to contain it. You see, as he gets to the edge, he realizes there's no way I'm going to get there to the quarterback, so get them big mitts up. Nice job by McCoy.
On third down and 7. And a completion. Good pass by Jackson to Mark Andrews. One of the 4 tight ends suited up by John Harbaugh today. 17 yards to the 42.
Well, first off, Lamar Jackson under duress. Watch him step up in this pocket. He's got people. He backs off, throws it away from the defender as Mark Andrews just hooks up there. And then as he gets to the defender, he pushes back to the outside. But that's throwing a guy open, and that's something we haven't seen from Lamar Jackson. The man is covered. Andrews is covered. Throw him open. Let him go get the ball.
And they give it down to Dixon again. Dixon going outside, gets hit, and will get another first down, depending where they spot it. Andrew Adams, who was defending on the last pass to Andrews, brings down the runner Dixon here, but he gets 10 yards and a first down.
10 yards, first down, and watch my man Willie Snead coming across here. You've got to be involved. Hurst, the tight end's involved, or Hurst, the guard, is involved. I mean, you've got, well, both Hurst, the tight end, and Hurst, the guard, both involved, getting off to the edge, creating an opportunity for the run of Dixon.
On the 48 of Tampa Bay, and there's Jackson taking it himself. How quick he makes that option work. Doesn't he, Mark? The way he gets the snap and is past the line of scrimmage in a jiff, and a gain of 14 yards for Lamar Jackson.
Well, I think the one thing you have to look at this defensive end. That's what Lamar Jackson is looking at. If he turns his shoulders towards that dive, right there he turns his shoulders, pull the ball, get to the edge right there, and make those defenders, make the cornerbacks Grimes, make the other cornerbacks get up there and get involved in defending the run.
Longest run from scrimmage for Jackson, who has 52 yards on 10 carries, and it's going to be Jackson again. Jackson off the left side. First down once more and out of bounds, and a flag is down back at the 32. So Jackson gets 12 pending the penalty.
Holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So they'll bring it back thanks to Ronnie Stanley's holding call, the left tackle, nullifying 12 yards by Jackson.
Well, here he is, left tackle, and he actually does a pretty good job. But you're going to see his hand get outside, right there. Outside, there's the hold. You can see it. It's a good call. Now he works himself into great position, but obviously easy to work yourself in a great position when you've got that shoulder pad gripped and you can pull the defender right back onto your body. That part very nice, but you can't get your hands outside because it's so easy for officials to see that hand, that big pin outside the body frame.
So now 1st and 20, Kenneth Dixon getting a few, and it's Levante David making the tackle. How much can you sustain having a quarterback who is a runner more than a passer? Michael Vick interviewed him on the pregame show as far as winning and going far in the NFL.
Well, I think it's one of those situations where it's going to be tough, and you're in uncharted territory, as John Harbaugh told us. Can he stay healthy? Do people catch up to what you're doing? Those are things that have yet to be seen, and that's why they came out throwing the ball early.
2nd down and 14, escaping the rush is Jackson, now turning on the Jets, getting a 1st down, and Lamar Jackson putting on a running show here for the Ravens, and it'll be a 1st down inside the 15, 21 yards, and his longest run now. Jackson, who's shaken up, it appears, as he gets back, limping a little bit, holding on to his right side.
Well, Jackson is just such a dynamic athlete. You see the missed block right there by Dixon on the defensive end, and then Jackson takes off. And this is what Robert Griffin has been working with him. Protect yourself, get on the ground, but as you see the defender falling on his legs right there.
Here is Edwards, Gus Edwards, diving down to the 10-yard line. So the running attack is working, and the passes at the right time, mixing it well. 6 yards on that play, bringing up 2nd down and 4.
You know, you see the jet sweep motion, the east-west nature has become such a big part of the NFL. And now what you're seeing is that jet sweep motion by Baltimore to extend the outside defensive linebackers and the safeties to get the inside running game.
And there, the inside running game gets the touchdown. Gus Edwards. $10 yards and a touchdown for the Ravens.
Man, watch the double team right here at the point of attack, and then this, and look at this gaping chasm that the running back has to run through. This is beautiful execution. The double team getting, and look at the hole right there. I don't care who your safety is. That is almost impossible to ask your safety to cover 6 yards in the National Football League and tackle a running back.
Extra point by Tucker is perfect. And it started with Lamar Jackson with a 14-yard run. And it ends up with a 10-yard touchdown scamper by Gus Edwards. And this is his 2nd touchdown on the ground this year. So the Ravens fooled around early with the pass. They abandoned that for the most part. 22-yard run by Lamar Jackson, who has 76 yards total. The key there, 10 plays. They ran it 8 out of the 10 plays, and Edwards touchdown, giving the Ravens a 17-9 lead. They were up by 1 at the half. Bobo Wilson going to down it in the end zone, and the Bucs will take it out at the 25. Well, here's the playoff picture in the AFC. These are the 4 division leaders right now, and the Chargers and the Ravens would be the wild card teams at this point. The Colts and the Titans are winning. They're also 7-6. The Dolphins are 7-6, but they're trailing the Minnesota Vikings in the big fight. From the 25, been raining all day here, and the temperature has been dropping. It was 43 at game time. It's dipped below since then. And here's Peyton Barber on 1st down. He has been the linchpin today. 68 yards before that carry. He gets 4 on 1st down.
And I think that's important for Tampa Bay. Don't get yourself into a situation where you feel because maybe we're going to lose possessions and because Baltimore is running the ball so well that we have to abandon that facet of the offense. Stay true to what you've been. It's gotten you in this game to this point, only down by 1 score.
Rookie Ronald Jones goes out as a receiver to the bottom part of your picture. 2nd down and 5. And Winston will throw, and the pass is caught at midfield by Mike Evans for 20 yards and a 1st down. Time for a game break. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Dick. Colts up 10-0 on the Cowboys when Andrew Luck hands it off to Marlon Mack, who takes it in from 6 yards out for his 2nd score of the day. Colts leading this one 17-0. Dick, Mark, and John.
Thank you very much, Carissa. Had to wait for the send back. Mike Evans, by the way, over 100 yards today. Came in 7th in the NFL in receiving yards. Here is Barber, and he'll get about 3 yards on 1st down. By the way, the 7th 100-yard game of the season for Mike Evans.
And he's one of those guys, Dick, even when he's not open, he's open. He's such a big-bodied guy. He's got deceptive speed, really good hands on his release. He just tosses guys. Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator, said he's like a bigger, faster version of Brandon Marshall when Brandon Marshall was in his heyday back with the Bears and the Broncos.
2nd down and 7. And they go to Jones, who drops the ball out of the backfield, the rookie from USC. That is the 4th drop pass by a Tampa Bay player. They also couldn't handle a snap on a conversion earlier in the game.
Yeah, and this is the situation here as you see Jameis Winston driving the football, putting it on the running back. You got to catch that ball, but here, 3rd down and 7+. This is what you have to do. By the way, that's how you defend Mike Evans. But 3rd and 7+, now you're in trouble because do the Ravens come with pressure, try to make you throw it short of the sticks, rally up and tackle? That's what you got to worry about. There's the pressure.
Overthrown to Evans. And 4th down.
And that's what Wink Martindale, the defense coordinator, is going to do to you. 3rd and 7, we want to make you throw it short of the sticks. We're going to press you in man coverage. We're going to bring that pressure. We're not afraid. Talking to him, he's like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm driving home in my truck. You know what I want to do? I want to make sure that I did everything I could do from an aggressive standpoint to win. At the end of the day, you can sleep easy that way.
Evans will let it bounce. And did he touch it? If Evans touched it, the Buccaneers have it. And that is the call. Cyrus Jones looked like he was going to let it bounce, but he touched the ball. Why, we don't know. And Josh Shaw recovers it, and a huge break for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Recovered by Tampa Bay. It's 1st down, Tampa Bay.
I don't know what he was thinking. He's down here. You can see him right here watching the ball. It looks like he's going to get away from it. All of a sudden, his instincts just take over. He wants to go grab the football. Right there, he knows, like, I just completely messed up. Look at him get his hands down there. Certainly touches the ball.
Huge mental mistake by Cyrus Jones.
That's one that we coach from day one of training camp. When you have a ball bouncing around like that, they always said, Peter, Peter, Peter. I mean, just, I don't even know why that came up, Peter, but it meant just get away from the football. And why you would stick your hands down there and try to make that play, I have no idea.
Well, Mark, it looked like he was going to let the ball bound to a halt, but instead it's a 1st down on the 14 of the Ravens. Big opportunity for Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers, and the screen pass to Jacquizz Rodgers, and he is tackled immediately by Mosley. C.J. Mosley having an outstanding game defensively at middle linebacker for Baltimore.
Oh, he reads the screen. He reads the guard getting out and the center getting out. Now they're getting after it. There's the center, Jensen, former teammate. But as soon as he saw Jensen getting out to the outside, he knew better. He's like, uh-oh, here comes the screen. Watch him right here. He reads the center getting out. Now watch him trail on the center, gets underneath him. Perfect, right on the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 9. On the slant, Humphries managed to hold on. Adam Humphries. Brandon Carr was there. Flag is down, however, back at the 15-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be a hold against, or a push-off against Tampa Bay.
Pass interference. Offense number 13. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Evans doesn't agree with that apparently, so nullify the completion to Humphries. Penalty against Evans.
Well, they're trying to run this trail concept right here, and he's going to get down there and block. So watch him get off the line of scrimmage. Now he turns it into a block. And that's what they called right there. This is perfect. Now, if you're the Baltimore Ravens, sudden change, can we get off the football field with only a field goal attempt? That's the sign of a great defense, and that's what they're trying to do right now. Off the field with just a field goal attempt.
Second down and 18. And a timeout called by the Buccaneers.
First charge, timeout.
You don't want to use your second half
seconds.
timeouts, especially at this stage of the game. In a close game, but Tampa Bay forced to call the timeout. On the offensive pass interference, the push-off, Mike Pereira is with us in our studios. Your thoughts about that as Evans went out with Humphrey behind him, Mike?
Yeah, you know, Dick, he runs kind of an inside route, and then he turns upfield. And then maybe there is some contact, you know, but it's right when the ball gets there. To me, this is not what you look for in terms of blocking downfield or a pick. I really don't think that should have been called.
I mean, he was just in the way more or less, and not much contact to say the least on Brandon Carr.
Right, not a lot of contact, but when you're down the football field making contact, thank you, Mike. You're down the football field making contact, you know, that's what the ref sees. He sees the contact. Mike Evans certainly shaking his head still about the call.
Second down and 19. It was 19 they needed. Ball back at the 23. Winston stepping up. Off balance again, and Evans makes the catch and dives inside the 10-yard line. Great play by Evans. Looked like he was so determined after that last call that he disagreed with. He grabbed it, got 14 yards, and beat Marlon Humphrey to the ball and got a few extra.
Well, how good has Jameis Winston been in the pocket? One, you see him right there, two hands on the ball, securing it, buying himself some time from the pass rush, finding his big wide receiver in the middle of the football field and flipping it up there with an opportunity for him to come down with it. He's just been so good manipulating the pocket and moving around. And
his best passes today for Winston have been off balance going to his left. But now it's third down and 5. Winston has plenty of time. His pass is incomplete. Intended for Godwin. And fourth down coming up. So the field goal team is coming up out to the field, and you're right, the Ravens got the job done, limiting Tampa Bay to an attempt for 3 points.
Well, really nice. I mean, route combination. They're just running guys, crossing routes from right to left and left to right, trying to pick guys, trying to find some wide open receiver, and the Ravens just plastering as a defense right now, creating that incomplete pass. Really nice job.
This will be a 27-yard attempt. Santos connected from 21 earlier. Trying to make it a 5-point game. And Cairo Santos' kick is good. He's now 2 for 2. And the Ravens lead is 17-12. Still a nip and tuck game with 5:43 remaining in the third quarter. And we're back, and we want to remind you that aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. 9 of the 12 Tampa Bay points have come off of either a turnover or a mistake. The muff punt does not count officially as a turnover, but it was a huge mistake for the Ravens. And the fumble was indeed a turnover earlier in the game. And Chris Moore on the run. Here's Chris Moore, finds an opening. And a terrific return beyond the 40-yard line. And it takes 3 Buccaneers to bring him down. Great return by Chris Moore, who scored the touchdown. 32-yard return. Second longest of the season for him.
Well, he gets back inside. Now, once you get inside, look at him. avoiding tackles. He's watching people. He's like, all right, nobody's bringing me down. Just going to keep running. Is he a fullback or is he wide receiver? Chris Moore has scored on a run, a little dump off or a little shovel pass across the formation. Nicely done.
And a first down at the 45 of Baltimore. And they give it to Kenneth Dixon. And Dixon gets a couple on first down. Lamar Jackson has been the centerpiece of the Ravens offense today. He has thrown for a touchdown, actually a flip, 2 more for 119 yards. Good percentage. Edwards, the leading rusher, and Snead with 5 catches. He's had a big game. 2nd and 8. And they go to Dixon again, and he is pushed back by Levante David. Big play by David. Time for a game break. Let's check in again with Carissa Thompson. Carissa.
Thanks, Dick. Great game in Chicago. Packers trying to stay alive at that wild card spot. Jamal Williams finds the end zone here. They go for 2. Aaron Rodgers. It's Devontae Adams. We are all tied up in Chicago. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
Thank you, Carissa. Great traditional rivalry and a tight game. And Jackson gets away. And here's Jackson, hard to bring him down, gets a first down. Was going to be knocked back for a loss, and he gets 11 yards when Vita Vea misses a tackle. Flag is down, penalty on the play as Dixon and Levante David have a discussion. But what a play by Lamar Jackson, who seemingly was sacked behind the line of scrimmage.
How about Lamar Jackson? How about his ability to make people miss, to extend plays, the athleticism? I tell you what, he's an exciting guy to watch.
The result of the play is a first down for Baltimore. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the offense, number 30. 15 yards from the end of the play. It'll be 1st and 10, Baltimore.
And you know, that's why Levante David was jawing at Kenneth Dixon, and a big personal foul against him and the Ravens.
Well, he's just going to get, Nassib's going to come unblocked right here as the line turns it down, leaves the defensive end unblocked. He makes him miss, and then he makes a defender, Adams, miss on the inside with a little pump fake. Now here's, right there at the end of the play, you can see Dixon just lays out. I think that's Levante David.
And here is the run by Gus Edwards up the middle. So the Ravens would have had the ball on the Bucs 41. Instead, they had to go back to their own 44-yard line as a result of that penalty. 2nd down is coming up here after the gain of 1. And it pushed the Ravens back in their own territory. 5-point lead for Baltimore.
54.
Jackson takes the safe route to the tight end, Hayden Hurst. 2 rookie tight ends of the 4. Hurst, the number 1 pick out of South Carolina, and Andrews from Oklahoma, who we've seen. They get 4 yards.
And I like that, right? Fake the ball, get your quarterback outside, give him kind of an underneath linear progression where you have somebody in the flat, maybe a tight end dragging over in the middle area and a receiver running deep on that side, but eliminate half the field, put all those receivers right in your line of vision, give your quarterback an easy read.
Big game all around for Jackson. Scrimmage yards for him. It'll be 3rd down and 4, and he flips it to Kenneth Dixon, and Dixon, extra effort, first down. Tell you what, these are relentless Ravens without question. From receiver to defensive players to running back to quarterback, you name it.
Yeah, and here's where it gets you. You'll watch this defensive end come right down here and force the flip out, okay? So you've done your job. Now you got to rally up and make some tackles, and you see Dixon just continue to wear them down. When you possess the ball, when you run the ball like they're doing right now, it wears a defense out. It's like a body blow in boxing.
Bradley Bozeman comes in as an extra offensive lineman for Baltimore, and it's going to be Jackson with the keeper. Jackson goes out of bounds, needing about 6 for the first down.
And that's where it's imperative to have guys on your team. Robert Griffin. I mean, what a job he has done as a mentor to Jackson. And I talked to him on the field earlier today, and he said, listen, the number one thing I tell this kid is you're a dynamic athlete. That's awesome. Take advantage of that. But please, for the love of Pete, get down. Don't take hits. And you see him step out of bounds. Great play.
He's a guy that's grown up, too, in his own right. Here's Jackson. Pass. Dropped. He had the first down up to the 25-yard line, and it was dropped by John Brown. Throw is right to him.
He is really throwing these in-cutting, these slant routes, and these inside the seam routes, and these, listen, in-cutting route right there. It's beautifully thrown right between the two underneath defenders. And for John Brown, I mean, that's right on your body between the 1 and 3. You got to come up with that for your quarterback.
That's the first drop pass by the Ravens. The Bucs have dropped 4 of them. 3rd down and 6. And here is Jackson with the carry and the first down. Lamar Jackson on that run pass option, carries it again, and a first down as we get close to a minute to go in the 3rd.
Watch him read, his eyes reading the defensive ends here on the edge. I'm sorry, right down here. So you're going to watch him as that defensive end works to the outside. Boom, pull that ball, take it back to the inside. That's exactly the opposite of what we just saw on the last run when the defensive end crashed.
And here is the handoff to Edwards. Gus Edwards drives it to the 31-yard line. Jackson, by the way, now has 98 yards rushing. Edwards 45, and the Ravens with 182 yards on the ground will face a 2nd down and 6.
He said the key here is reading the shoulders and the eyes of those defensive ends, making sure if they turn their shoulders to the inside, that's my cue to go out. If they go outside, keep flat, hand it to the running back.
And here is Jackson rolling out, looking for the throw, and it is caught for the first down by Hayden Hurst. 2nd reception in this drive for the top right draft pick from South Carolina. Clock is running. That may be the last play of the 3rd quarter, but the Ravens will have a first down on the 23-yard line as the 3rd quarter ends. And Lamar Jackson and the rest of this Raven running offense with an occasional pass is in good rhythm. Ravens lead the Bucs 17-12. 4th quarter here in Baltimore. Dick Stockton, Mark Schlereth, and Jen Hale with the Ravens leading 17-12 over the Buccaneers. And checking scores of other games is a fan ready to be Santa Claus, I would think, on the 25th. It'll be a first down at the 23 for Baltimore. They have run 11 plays so far in this drive. 7 have been runs, and 2 have been 3rd down conversions. Here's Jackson following blockers, and Jackson getting good yardage on first down. He's over 100 for the game. He's got 102 right now, picking up 4. So it's been a triumvirate of runners today. Jackson leading the way with 102, and Edwards and Dixon shuttling in and out. Dixon is in there right now.
That's a big word, triumvirate.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put that in my vocabulary.
Ryan Smith is the injured player. Rolling out is Jackson. Looking.
Take off.
Tipped. Incomplete. It was Willie Snead closest near the sideline there.
Every player has a clock in his head. You know, I'm like, just take off, man. Like, what? It gets to a certain point where you're just like, go get us some yards, young kid. If you're an offensive lineman going, okay, on that one, either, you know, you threw it away, that's okay. But go on, take off, get us down to third down and 2 or 3, because we can convert running the football in those situations.
Third down and 6 from the 19. And here's Dixon. And it'll be 4th down. Good play again by Levante David. He has been an utter star in this game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, making key stops, recovering a fumble in which the Bucs scored a touchdown. So the field goal team comes in. And Justin Tucker, who made good on a 24-yard field goal, has hit 17 in a row. This will be from 35. And Tucker's kick is good. 18 straight field goals by Justin Tucker. And the Ravens, still a 1-possession game, but they're up by 8 now, 20-12 early here in the 4th. Back here at Baltimore, where the Ravens lead the Buccaneers 20-12. And what set it up was the 32-yard kickoff return by Chris Moore. Jackson rushed for 26. That's been the story, as Bobo Wilson runs it out from about 4 yards. And right now, let's check in with Jen Hale on this nasty day.
Yeah, Dick, it's been a sloppy one, and we've seen it affect ball security and the receivers in this game, but it has not affected footing. And there's a very good reason for that. The Ravens change this field out routinely 3 times a year just because of conditions here. And the last time they changed it was just about a month ago. So that's part of the reason it's holding up so well under these wet conditions. Gerald McCoy was pleasantly surprised. He came out early before the game to test it. He expected footing to be bad and said, actually, it's one of the best he's been on this season. Yeah,
you're right, Jen, and we haven't seen anyone slip in this wet condition. First down on the 23 for Jameis Winston. And the pass is picked off, intercepted by Marlon Humphrey on first down. That's been the big problem for the Ravens defense. Solid other than getting takeaways. That is only their 11th takeaway of the season. And that's what's held him back. Interception by Marlon Humphrey. His first of the year. Intended for Mike Evans. And good hands there. We'll be back. And the interception by Humphrey, only the 7th interception by the Ravens this year, and that's the first turnover by Tampa Bay, but 32 giveaways, most in the NFL, and that's going to get you to 5 and 8. Hand off to Kenneth Dixon. Dixon for a couple.
Well, they do a really nice job of Humphrey staying underneath. You see the safety coming over the top, so he's in trail. He knows he's got help over the top. He trails the receiver right there, the underthrow, and watch him gather this ball between the legs. That's, I mean, concentration, keeping it off the ground. Wonderful job by Humphrey.
Second down and 8. And it's going to be Jackson. Looks like he's trapped. And finally, they bring him down as Carl Nassib, who's really come on, second on the team in sacks. Great penetration there. Been overlooked. Has a career high, over 6 sacks on the year. Former Brown. Loss of 6 yards.
Really did a nice job of keeping his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. He didn't get them turned perpendicular and really muddied the read for Jackson. Jackson kept the ball. It was a wrong decision. Nassib did a really nice job.
3rd and 14. That's big. It gets him way out of field goal range. Flag is down, and the pass underneath, and a good move after the catch by Willie Snead. So the flag is down, and he gets to the 35-yard line. So he gets them actually back in field goal range. And the indication is it's against Baltimore.
Illegal shift by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Third down coming up again, but first a game break. Kurt Menefee in L.A.
Game was tied at 14 until this. The Bears' Mitchell Trubisky hooking up with Trey Burton. Second TD pass of the day for Trubisky, and they need it. Up by a touchdown right now, just over 10 minutes left. If the Bears beat the Packers, they win the NFC North. Dick?
What an achievement that would be, Kurt. For the Chicago Bears.
First-year head coach, Matt Nagy, what a job.
Oh, phenomenal job. Third down and 19 for Lamar Jackson, and he's under pressure, and he throws it out of bounds, and the flag is going to go down. That's going to be a grounding call. Carl Nassib again putting the pressure on. I mean, not out of the tackle box, but he just wanted to get rid of the ball to avoid a sack, and that was apparent. That's common sense.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 8. Although the quarterback was outside the pocket, the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. The penalty carries a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's fourth down.
So it's fourth down, and so they had a chance for a field goal try on the pass before the penalty.
Again, Nassib here. Look at how he keeps his shoulders square. When you keep your shoulders parallel line of scrimmage, you can plant your inside foot, cut to the outside, and to be able to bring that guy down, number 8, Jackson, what a job, because that guy can fly.
17-yard loss on the play. Adam Humphries. With Sam Cook punting, Humphries is back, looking to give the Buccaneers decent field position. And the play clock winds down.
Late game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's fourth down.
5 more yards on the delay of game penalty.
Maybe they've got a third down and 41 play that, or fourth down and 41 play that they've been working on.
But I don't know about the value of that, because
why would,
you're giving Humphrey a better chance.
Right, why would you take a penalty right there?
You're giving Tampa Bay to get better field position. This is a great punt by Cook. Inside the 30, and here's the return. They will have good field position. Tampa Bay Bucs defense, they haven't been solid all year. Lately, they have been better. Let's see what Jameis Winston can do with his team down by 8 early here in the fourth. McCoy looks on and watches the offense go to work. Ravens lead by 8, and it'll be a first down on the 38 of Tampa Bay. Here's Peyton Barber, nearly broke a tackle, picked about 4 or 5. Mosley on the tackle. Well, the Ravens, as we said, really solid near the top in every category except takeaways, and that has really held them back. And last time the Bucs had the ball, Winston threw an interception on first down. It'll be second down and 6 here. Winston, and he completes it to Adam Humphries. First down for Tampa Bay at midfield.
Speaking of Adam Humphries, nobody has taken more snaps from slot than Adam Humphries. Has 0 drops. Nobody more plays from inside where you're getting, like, he's a crash test dummy. He's running around getting hit there, getting pushed around, but the guy has 0 drops on the season. A real pivotal player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Even on a day like today.
Yeah.
First down, play action. And going underneath again to Cameron Brate, the tight end, and Brate finds himself a yard away from another first down for Tampa Bay. And only 5 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter.
Really impressed with the poise of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's really easy to start to press when you're playing against the Ravens, who possess the ball and run the ball, and you feel like you're down by more than one score. They're staying within themselves, executing the offense. Nice job.
Great point. As Barber runs for 2. Actually, the Ravens have run 20 more plays than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's because of their ball control style. It's a first down here for Barber, and it shows why the patience that you pointed out is so important.
Right, and you can see it right here, 43 plays to 63 plays, and it makes you, as an offensive coordinator, if you're Tampa, it makes you feel like we got to go, and you don't. You've got time. Execute your offense. Possessions are paramount. You're only going to get another 1 or 2 here.
They're on the 39 here. And again, they go underneath, and this pass caught by Barber for 3 yards. Trying to ward off the pass rushers. Darius Smith storming in on Jameis Winston there.
Jameis has done a really nice job of understanding where the pressure is coming from, sliding away from it, yet keeping his eyes down the football field. I'm so impressed with the way he's playing right now in this game, because the Ravens are an absolute nightmare to try to designate who's coming, who's not coming. Look, everybody on the line of scrimmage. Come on. I mean, seriously, who are you going to block?
2nd down and 7, and here is Barber, and Barber again within a yard of the first down. They are really ahead of the chains. They're really doing a terrific job. It's on schedule, as you would say.
Right, and here's a 2nd down and 7 situation, and what do? You hand it to this guy. You're not expecting that if you're the Ravens. You don't block the end man on the line of scrimmage. You let the motion, the movement of Winston hold him in position, and you get a nice run by Barber, staying ahead, 3rd down and 1.
And Barber is going to be knocked back. He went to the well once too often, perhaps. Brandon Williams. And a loss on the play will bring up 4th down. 7:41 to go.
There's the big fella, right there on the center, Jensen. And look at him get to the edge of Jensen, just shove him in the backfield. And then, oh my goodness, Peyton Barber, sorry about that. You can land on running backs.
They're going for it on 4th down, and they have to really. Why not? 4th down and 4 on the 33. Down by 8. Watch the play clock. It's 1 second. And a timeout called by the Bucs before the play clock ran out. Tampa Bay has only 1 timeout the rest of the game. And it'll be 4th down, and we'll be right back after this message from State Farm. So the timeout called by Dirk Cutter, 1 left, but despite the 3-yard loss, 4th and 4. We'll go for it here, trailing 20-12.
And this is another one of those situations where you know the way Baltimore runs the football, the way they possess the football on offense, you're going to get maybe 1 more possession with 7:12 left. So you've got to be able to convert here, and you've got to keep this drive alive, because you're not going to get another opportunity. You're maybe 1 more opportunity, but this is the quandary that Baltimore puts you in as a group, especially the way they run their offense.
Crowd is alive. Good protection, and incomplete. Pass intended for Godwin, and Humphrey broke it up. And the Ravens take over on downs. Good protection that time for Jameis Winston, but the Ravens secondary broke up the pass attempt, and they'll take over on downs when we come back. Jameis Winston, who's now 13 of 25, 157 yards and 1 interception. Could not complete the pass, and Marlon Humphrey was there to break it up. So the Ravens, with 7:08 to go in the 4th, have a first down on their own 33. No secret what they're going to do. They give to Gus Edwards, and Edwards with a couple gets about 3 yards.
All right, here's the 4th down play. Marlon Humphrey. Now, watch him sift through. There's a guy that goes out, guy that goes up, and then Godwin right here, the guy he's covering, runs a little outside whip route. Look at him work through that traffic, get underneath that whip route, and hit that ball. He has had a tremendous game, not only from a coverage standpoint, but rolling up and making tackles in the run game as well. 2nd year in the league, just done a great job today.
2nd down and 7. Edwards finds a opening and gets a first down. Good downhill runners, both Edwards and Kenneth Dixon today. That'll be a 10-yard run.
And this is what, this is just them. This is just the Baltimore Ravens. Where can we find double teams, pull a guard around, create a wide open chasm? I'm telling you what, I blocked for a 2,000-yard rusher in Terrell Davis. And watching them on tape here in the last 4 weeks, I have never seen bigger holes created by an offense than the one is here that we're watching Baltimore.
James Hurst playing in place of the injured Alex Lewis at left guard. Normally he's the right tackle with a good block on that play. And here is Edwards again. Edwards getting into Buccaneer territory, using the clock. Vita Vea with the stop, but 5 yards, and the Ravens are over 200 yards rushing today. Last 5 games, look at the numbers. First team with 5 straight 190-plus rushing yard games in a season since the 1976 Steelers.
But look at this. Look at the attempts. 42 today.
Right.
Like, I mean, they just average. I don't know. Math. They told me math wouldn't be the deal, but it's got to be 44-ish.
And you could travel this, can't you?
Right. Yeah.
Like you said at the outset. Edwards again.
Oh.
Why change a winning formula? Edwards with solid gain, bringing up 3rd down. And now the clock continues to go. Under 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
And they are wearing people out right now. I mean, that's the thing about this defense. Now you're sitting here, you've defended all these plays. You're close to 70 plays run right now as an offense. And what happens to you? You start getting tired. You start getting worn out. All these big bodies leaning on top of you. It's one of those situations now, if you're Tampa, where you're exhausted from defending this offense.
Edwards, first down. Gus Edwards with the first down for the Ravens with 4 more yards. They have gained 209 yards on the ground, 85 for the Bucs, but that's not their game, Tampa Bay. It's the passing game. And John Harbaugh's team trying to get to 8-6 on the year, and the Buccaneers trying to avoid a losing season, which they would have if they lose today. And that is the last timeout called. Tampa Bay's last timeout now.
And going into the game, 15 of 28 3rd down conversions have come by the rush, and Edwards coming in the game 7 attempts, for 3rd down rushes where he's converted. It's just amazing.
Yep. Well, this January, Fox brings you the biggest television event of the new year from executive producer Ridley Scott, starring Mark Paul Gosselaar, and based on the best-selling trilogy The Passage. It premieres Monday, January 14th on Fox. This is crucial. No timeouts left for the Buccaneers, so they have to prevent the Ravens from getting any points right here to have a hope in this game. 1st and 10 on the 43 of Tampa Bay. They go to Gus Edwards again. Edwards looks fresh as a daisy. Good block by the tight end Hayden Hurst. And a 7-yard gain. Game break time. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Dick. Redskins trailing 13-6 in Jacksonville. Josh Johnson finds tight end Jeremy Sprinkle for this 6-yard score. All tied up at 13. Redskins trying to stay alive. 6th seed. Dick?
And so many teams are, Carissa, at this point.
How about Josh Johnson? I mean, he hasn't played in the league since, 2011? Coming in, throwing a touchdown?
He's the 4th quarterback for the Redskins this year.
Yeah.
They give it to Edwards, who gets another first down. They are controlling the clock, controlling the number of plays on the field, as you said, Mark, wearing down this defense.
And this is just mosh pit football right here. Like, let's get into the briar patch. Let's get nasty. Let's get some double teams. Let's pull a few guards and slam into some people and use our big running backs, whether it's Edward or Dixon, to just go straight downhill.
Edwards with 80 yards today comes out and is replaced by Dixon. Big day for Edwards with 80 yards and a touchdown. And now Dixon gets his chance, and he'll lose a couple of yards on first down. But there's no way that the Buccaneers can stop the clock. They will have a stoppage, of course, at the 2-minute warning, and that's it. So Gus Edwards comes back in. They call it no gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You just want to continue to run the ball here. You're in field goal territory for Tucker. You just want this, run the ball again, let this get to the 2-minute warning.
Jackson, who was rushed for 96 yards. He was over 100 before he had a big loss on a play. And this is going to be Edwards, who breaks one. First down inside the 20-yard line. And Edwards finally brought down. Big run. It was Isaiah Johnson who ultimately made the tackle, but a 26-yard run by Gus Edwards, and that's the longest run from scrimmage in this game. 2-minute warning here in Baltimore, and the Ravens on the move. Their patented running game working to perfection today. Well, during the 2-minute warning, how is this for class? And as you said, Mark, humility. Ron Torbert going over and shaking the hands of the chain crew on both sides of the field. I've never seen that before, but that's a great gesture.
Yeah, not only classy, but it's also because he wants to get inside as soon as this game's over because he's sopping wet.
Okay.
There is some
So does that guy.
Yes, exactly.
And 2-minute warning and taking the knee there. 2nd and goal coming up and using the clock. By the way, for Gus Edwards, his 3rd 100-yard game of the season. And by the way, that last run was the longest of his for the campaign, 26 yards.
So what you're telling me is those are grinded out, 300-yard games in the last in the last 5 games, right? That's just grinding it out. With 26 as your long there, that's 8 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, nastiness.
Time permitting, we'll send you to Soldier Field for the finish of the Bears-Packers game, a Bear victory. And they're under 2 minutes there, would give them the NFC North title. For the Buccaneers, they'll drop to 5-9. They've had 1 winning season in the last 7 years. And they have Dallas next week and then Atlanta at home. But for the Ravens, they'll go to 8-6. And they have a road game against the Chargers and the Browns here to finish the season. That's not going to be a picnic either. But the Ravens, at this point, are in the driver's seat for the 6th and final wild card berth. A lot of things can alter that. And don't forget, Pittsburgh plays New England later. And with this win, the Ravens in a Pittsburgh loss would take over the lead in the NFC North. Or AFC North, I should say. And so
this is a team, let me just tell you, come playoff time, if they get in, and it looks like they're going to if they continue this team nobody wants to play.
You know, they're like Seattle in the NFC.
Right.
Nobody wants to play them either. But the final score, the Ravens, with their patented running game, 20-12 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's the game here in Baltimore. And we'll be right back after this.